I didn't bring it. Uh-oh. Hello, sociology and criminology graduates of the class of 2021. Welcome to campus. My name is Wayne Edwards, professor and chair of American Studies, Media and Communications. Having recently returned to Old Westbury's faculty ranks after serving in several administrative posts, I thank our president, Dr. Timothy Sams, our provost, Dr. Duncan Quarles, and Ms. Danielle Collins-Groner, chair of our commencement committee, for asking me to do the honors of greeting you today. It's a privilege that I do not take lightly. That said, as I was preparing my notes for today's ceremony, I almost wrote "Welcome students," and then it occurred to me that after Sunday's commencement ceremony, you are no longer students. You are now officially alumni of the college. So give yourselves a well-earned round of applause. I also extend greetings to faculty, staff, administrators, members of the College Council, the College Foundation, and friends of the college who are with us today either in person or virtually. And last but not least, I extend greetings to your families, your friends, and other loved ones who have supported you throughout your journey to this point. Please make some noise to show them your love and appreciation. So I know it's the middle of the day. Maybe some of you have had a long day already, or you're thinking about the hours to come after you leave here. But listen, folks, I'm from the Bronx. When I say make some noise, I mean make some noise. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Now you sound ready. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce someone who is not only a dear friend and colleague, but more importantly, someone who holds a special place in the Old Westbury family. Laura Anker is a distinguished service professor of American Studies and director of the First Year Experience and Community Action Learning and Leadership programs. The CALL program has earned Old Westbury a place on the President's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll from its inception in 2007 until the program was disbanded in 2016. Dr. Anker is co-editor of The Ethics of Engagement, Educating Leaders for a Just World, co-author of Women of Courage, a study of Jewish and Italian immigrants in New York, and has been published in peer-reviewed articles and presented papers at national and international conferences on the importance of civic engagement and community learning for retention, intercultural understanding, social activism, and effective global citizenship. A community leader and frequent speaker on issues of education and immigration, Dr. Anker was elected to the East Hampton Union Free School District for 7 terms, 21 years, and served both as its president and vice president, as well as serving on the executive committee of the East Hampton Group for Good Government. In 2018, Laura Anker was honored by the Old Westbury College Foundation with the Leadership Award, and in 2019 was awarded the Outstanding Experiential Educator for Higher Education by the National Society for Experiential Education. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your warmest welcome to Dr. Laura Anker.
Welcome, and I want to join Dr. Edwards in thanking Ms. Danielle Collins-Kroner. Here I go, it's late. And Dr. Sams and Dr. Quarles for the opportunity to speak to you. But most important, I want to congratulate the class of 2021, the largest graduating class in Old Westbury's history. Give yourselves a round of applause. While we were able to honor you virtually in Sunday's grand formal graduation with all its pomp and circumstance, we are also so happy to be able to celebrate your achievements in these small, more personal ceremonies on Old Westbury's beautiful campus. And once again, how good is it to be back at Old Westbury? I know that I'm finding it awesome. Although the health precautions imposed by COVID-19 prevent your parents, extended families, and significant others from being in this room with us today, we're live streaming these festivities, and you'll be able to take pictures outside with them in front of all the signs, and your faculty will come out and we'll come out and just to commemorate today. And I know that as your greatest cheerleaders, your families join us in applauding your achievements, academic, personal, and civic, the ways you have grown, and the obstacles you have overcome. And I think a lot about those obstacles that you have overcome to graduate from Old Westbury. Without their love and support, you would not be college graduates. So let's give them another round of applause. Born out of the struggles for civil rights and economic, racial, and gender equality in the 1960s, Old Westbury is a young college with a long tradition of commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, educational empowerment, active learning, community engagement, and leadership for change. From its inception, Old Westbury was committed to providing an elite liberal arts interdisciplinary education in a democratic context, to educating those who we used to say had been traditionally bypassed by American higher education: women, students of color, immigrants, working class young people, and older adults. By graduating, you demonstrate that you have, in the words of Adrienne Rich, claimed this very special college education. And although we often talk about education as a gift, Adrienne Rich reminds us that learning is never passively received. It requires active engagement and the courage to challenge preconceived ideas and boundaries. So many of you represent the first generation in your families to graduate from college. Most of you have worked, often too many hours, while trying to find time to study, to contribute to your families. Your graduation itself challenges the widening economic and racial divide in American society. By being here today and in your contributions to your families and communities, you personify Mahatma Gandhi's often quoted phrase, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." I know that the faculty, administrators, and staff gathered here today share my respect, admiration, and even awe at the enormity of your accomplishments. Graduating from college is a major achievement in normal times, but you have persevered under the most challenging of circumstances. A worldwide pandemic that has ravaged our nation and the globe, forcing you to complete the last year and a half of college education, of your college education remotely. Despite the difficulties of a transition to virtual learning, you have excelled academically and contributed as tutors, teaching assistants, college and community ambassadors. I was talking to some of you as legal assistants, helping people, and so much more. You are leaving us to continue your education in graduate programs and professional schools, or to begin your careers serving society as teachers, lawyers, public servants, scientists, writers, journalists, entrepreneurs, counselors, social workers, psychologists, elected representatives, nonprofit fundraisers, researchers, and some few of you have said that you're joining the NYPD, and I was thinking, isn't that awesome that you will bring the values of Old Westbury to policing in New York State? You will be advocates for the environment, for public health, who speak truth to power, knowing that education is the essential foundation of a democratic society and engaged global citizenship. As college graduates, you will enjoy more rewarding careers and earn at least $1 million more over your lifetime than those whose highest degree is a high school diploma. But your Old Westbury liberal arts education will continue to enrich your lives in so many more important ways than money, making you happier, more appreciative of the arts, of music, of literature, and transforming your careers, your friendships, your ideas, your values, and your communities, the person you are and whom you will become. I can testify that learning from the differences and similarities in your voices and in your stories, inside and outside the classroom, has shaped my life and who I am as a teacher, an historian, a community activist, a friend, a spouse, a mother, and a grandparent. You're graduating from college at a particularly difficult time for our nation, during a global pandemic which has taken so many lives and accentuated the problems of racism and inequality that have plagued our country from its inception and continue to undermine our democracy and our humanity. But you, the Old Westbury graduating class of 2021, make this also a time of great hope and optimism for a better future. The unique diversity of Old Westbury has enriched your classrooms and challenged all of you to listen more fully, reflect more deeply, think more critically, decide more ethically, care more intensely, love more broadly, and act more courageously and compassionately in everything you do. It has taught you, in the words of Martin Luther King, that an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. As Old Westbury graduates, you know that the greatest measure of success is the contributions you make to the community and to the world. You have learned from the different experiences and perspectives of your classmates and faculty to speak out and act against racism, sexism, inequality, and cruelty. Quote, to break that silence and bridge some of those differences between us, as Audre Lorde reminds us. For it is not difference which immobilizes, but silence. To a divided nation and world, torn apart by racism, hate, inequality, and the decimation of the environment, you bring the ideals and values expressed in Old Westbury's historic social justice mission: access and equity, inclusivity, critical thinking, empathy, creativity, intercultural understanding, lifelong learning, and civic activism, a commitment to building a more just and sustainable world. As graduates, you've become part of Old Westbury's history, but you will also join the family of global alumni, 31,000 people strong, who will shape the college's future. We look forward to staying in touch and connected as you embark on your future journeys, and hope that you will channel the magic of Old Westbury to the problems of your communities, our nation, and the world, today and in the future. Thank you, and give yourselves a round of applause. And now it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce our new president, Dr. Timothy E. Sams. Dr. Sams began his tenure, excuse me, as the 6th president of Old Westbury in January 2021, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, protest, political unrest, and the college's pivot to virtual learning. Dr. Sams brought with him 3 decades of experience in improving academic success and college completion, particularly for students from underrepresented and marginalized communities. In the 4 short months since his arrival, Dr. Sams' commitment to Old Westbury's students and mission has won him the admiration, respect, and affection of the entire Old Westbury community. We've learned that he belongs with us, and I think that Dr. Sams has learned that we belong with him. So we are so happy. His leadership promises to advance Old Westbury's impact on the local and global community and our standing as one of the most diverse colleges in the nation, with a commitment to educational excellence, access, and equity, to building, once more, a more just and sustainable world. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Please join me in thanking Dr. Anker for her wonderful words. Thank you very much. And you didn't give me my cue this time. You didn't. And also, join me in thanking Dr. Edwards for being our MC today. Thank you very much, Dr. Edwards. You may have wondered who put together the wonderful ceremony that you were a part of on Sunday, the virtual ceremony, as well as who chaired the committee who put together this and 13 other events. It's this woman right here, Miss Danielle Collins-Groner. Please thank her for her immense work. Great work, and thank you. And you also may have wondered how we were able to pull this off. There are a lot of people behind the scenes who will not come up to the front of the room. Some are in the back of the room. Some you saw in the hallway, greeted you at the desk when you walked, and a good number of them were outside beaming with pride and enthusiasm over the fact that you were back, that you were returned home. They hadn't seen you in a while. But most importantly, you returned home to graduate. They take it very seriously, especially over the past 2 weeks, that this moment was very important to you because it was also very important to them. I want to ask you to give them a round of applause for everything they did to make this event possible. So Dr. Anker and a couple of the other, maybe a few, will call me courageous. See, I needed it because I was prepared for you this time, all right? She would call me courageous for coming here during the social unrest, during this period that we have just been moving through over the past year and a half, the pandemic, and all the other things that you've become so familiar with over the past year. And I would say to her that it wasn't courageous. This was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for me to be here. And as I tell every mentee, every person I work with, period, the best place to work is the one that aligns perfectly with your values. That's going to always be the fit, that you have to always be clear about what your values are and then be clear about the values of the place where you work, and you will always be happy. I found that to be true, especially the places where I did not have alignment with my values, where I got out of pretty quickly, right? But that's life. But it's also notable for me and not lost upon me because I was a history and sociology major, double major, so I feel a great deal of kinship. So I feel very clear about who you are. And there's these 3 C's, if I can remember them right now, that leads me to think about you. It is that courage. So these are the courageous ones. This was no brainer for me. These are the courageous ones. These are the committed ones. These are the ones who have said, as I walked around the room and asked them, what are you going to do? They're doing things I dare not step out and do. You know, I couldn't be a social worker because I don't know if I'm strong enough, to be honest with you. And so as I walked around, I heard tremendous strength, tremendous passion, tremendous care, a humanitarian core, right? And didn't flinch at all as they said it. And as I pushed, they said, oh no, that's what I'm gonna do, right? And then finally, the third C is committed, right? Oh, excuse me, I said that, right? Cause. The third C is the cause, that you are very clear about what you are setting out to do. Not every graduate is. You were clear about your cause. You were clear about your purpose. Ultimately, you hope that the tremendous education that you got here enabled you to become clearer about what you were put on this earth to do. Interestingly, as I talked to Teresa, who I think when you came here, you had already had 5 kids, am I correct? She had already had 5 kids. What she said to me when we spoke for a few moments was that her experience here opened her eyes to things she did not know exist. That is what happens when you commit yourself, when you search for a cause, and you do it with courage. She didn't know what was going to happen. She allowed it to happen to her. There's a difference between attending college and allowing college to move through you. Many of you allowed Old Westbury to move through you. I got a paper full of remarks here, but I didn't read them. Let me read them for you. On Sunday, this past Sunday, we recognized about 1,400 undergraduate and graduate students who completed their studies here at Old Westbury. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to conduct the ceremony virtually. But in my opinion, and hopefully yours, we did a great service to you. If we didn't, please know you still and have always mattered very dearly to us. Yet today we continue to honor you graduates with this recognition ceremony that's designed to allow you to have an in-person opportunity, an in-person recognition, most especially with your professors. We also organize this ceremony so we, educators, could wear our regalia. We're sorry, but we want to wear our regalia once in a while. Look at us, right? Of course. And you provided us a perfect opportunity to do so. So we thank you. But most importantly, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to have you for 2 years, for 4 years, for 6 years, for 7 years, to pour into you, to allow Old Westbury and her values, principles, convictions, to teach you to be courageous, to be committed to very core humanitarian beliefs, and to be audacious and have the audacity to go out there and to realize them. We appreciate your allowing us to charge you up, to teach you and to empower you and enable you to go out. At the same time, we thank you for the education you provided us. I am sure, Teresa, every day you came to class, your experience raising those 5 kids, I am sure your experience as just being committed to the kind of ideals that brought you here taught your faculty and everyone else around you at the same level at which we thought we were teaching you, and we thank you for that. I have to welcome you, and I'll tell you this one final time. Don't laugh, Dr. Edwards. In Ghana, West Africa, when you leave home and return, when you enter the house, the family sits you down in the family room, the living room, and they gather and they bring you a cold beverage. Generally, it's a Fanta soda, and we've been going back and forth about Fanta and the fact that there it's doubly sweet. And they ask you one simple question, and that is, what have you done since the last time we saw you? What have you done since the last time we saw you? And they expect you to just go on and on and on and do not forget a thing. And they sit attentively. That is appropriate, in my opinion, because you left our home. You left our beautiful campus a year and a half ago. And we haven't seen you. Sure, we've seen you on Zoom, but you have to admit there is something about being present that differs from that Zoom. Would you agree with me? There's something about that. And we are glad to have you back home, if for no other reason, to say farewell and good luck. But in that year and a half time you've been quarantined, you worked harder. You took care of your family. Some of you said your final goodbyes to family members. You took to the street to fight against racial injustice. All the while, you maintain your focus on getting your degree, graduating and finishing this spring of 2021. Amidst all of that, and think about the past year and a half. You may be thinking about the past 4 years or 5 years or 3 years. But even during a pandemic and everything that we saw in the past, you stayed focused. You stayed committed. Vanessa stayed committed to her son and never forgot that. So it's fair to say that you've stayed focused, stayed rigorous, and stayed committed to your future in the time since we last met. And because of that, we are immensely proud of you. We are impressed by you, and we honor you. And we welcome you to your recognition ceremony. Congratulations. It is my responsibility to turn this podium back over to Dr. Edwards. Thanks again.
Thank you, Dr. Sams. Can we give a round of applause to Dr. Sams and Dr. Anker for their encouraging and inspiring words? So as we move toward the conclusion of today's ceremony, I want to take a moment to ask if we can make a deal. Actually, 2 deals. So here's the first one. As I was growing up, my mother would often tell her 3 children, my older brother, my younger sister, and myself, that if you're fortunate in life to achieve any level of success, actually the word she used wasn't fortunate, she used the word blessed, so I will use her word. If you're blessed enough to achieve any level of success in life, you're obligated to reach out and help others. Why? Because on your path to success, somebody, or more likely many somebodies, reached out a hand and helped you. Helped pull you up, or maybe pushed you when you needed a push, pulled you when you needed a pull. But there were people in your lives who helped you achieve what you were able to achieve. So as you prepare to go into the world as alumni of this great institution and representatives of this great institution, our hope is that you, on your career paths, wherever your careers may take you, that as opportunities present themselves for you to help others, that you will reach out a hand, okay? And that you will pull others along, give them that extra boost that they need, that you can provide to help them achieve and help them get where you are today and beyond. So, can I ask if you will be willing to do that? Will you be willing to do that? Okay, so maybe I asked the question wrong the first time. So we'll try it again, because I'm going to channel my mother here, because my mother would say, the clapping is nice, but I need to hear your voice. Okay? So, will you be willing to reach out and help others as others have helped you to get to this point? Yes? All right. Okay, so I said this was a two-part deal. So that's the first part. The second part, as alumni, you may or may not know, so I'll share with you, that no college, no university system survives, much less thrives, without a strong alumni base. You are now alumni. You join this old Westbury family of 31,000 strong alumni globally who are doing great work all around the world. And we know that you will do great work as well. So we've all heard the old saying, to whom much is given, much is required. So our hope is that the education that you've received here at Old Westbury that has prepared you to now go forth and do the great works that you're destined to do, that you will give back to Old Westbury, that you will help support this institution and help it be able to do for others what it has done for you and even greater things. And I know some of you might be sitting there saying, well, wait a minute. Is he about to ask us for some money? Right? So there's a two-part answer to that. The first part is, yes, I am. The second part is, no, we're not passing a plate around today, so you don't have to worry about it today, right? But my hope, our hope, is that you will keep Old Westbury in your heart. That as you move forward, you will help support this college and the mission of the college. And let me explain why. When we talk about financial support, one, the funding that comes from alumni help provide scholarships for students. And I'm sure many of you in this room have benefited from scholarships over the years here at Old Westbury. Helps provide funding for faculty research. Helps provide funding for programs and activities for students that helps build a robust campus life. And on occasion, you may hear from us about a fundraising campaign, like our recent Student Emergency Fund campaign that raised over $100,000, mostly from alumni, over $100,000 to provide pandemic-related relief for students in need. And when I mention that figure, 100,000, that might sound like, we're looking for you to clear out your bank accounts to help out SUNY Old Westbury. But those gifts that came from alumni, some gave $1,000, some gave $100. Some gave $10. And you know what? We were grateful for every dollar that we received because we understand circumstances are different. So whatever you're able to do is appreciated. But it isn't all about money when we talk about supporting the college. Let's say you may get a call or an email or some communication one day, maybe from Penny Chin. I don't see Penny in the room right now. Penny is our Director of Alumni Affairs. You may get a communication from Penny Chin saying, you know, we're having this program at the college. And I'm wondering if, given your area of expertise, would you be willing to come and speak to current students who can benefit from your wisdom, who can benefit from your experience? That's another way of reaching out and helping out. That's a way of helping students who are maybe where you were a year ago get to where you are right now today. So if you get that call to come back, can we count on you as best you can if you're in the area and you're able to come back and speak to current students? Can you do that? Y'all gonna make me channel my mother again? Come on now, can you do that? Okay, now just remember, we have cameras in here, so we've recorded all of this. So you're on record. Okay, so now we move toward the conclusion of our ceremony. Here's what we'll do. Graduates will move row by row with the help of volunteer ushers, starting from the back of the room up to the podium. As you line up, you'll pass our Zoom screen over there, where professors who were not able to physically be here today may be sitting in the Zoom room waiting to see you and say hello. So as you pass the screen, wave to them. They can hear you, so you can speak to them, and they can certainly see you. So wave to your professors if you see them in the Zoom room. If I can take a moment to sort of weave in a sports context here. Go Knicks, go Islanders, go Nets. All right? But I say that to say this. We are not Madison Square Garden. We are not the Barclays Center. We are not looking for you to be all on top of each other because we're still social distancing. So as you come up to the podium, leave some space between you and the person in front of you. Hand your yellow card with your yellow name card to Danielle. And as your name is read, cross the stage to take a picture with Dr. Sams. As you take your picture with Dr. Sams, wave to the cameras so that your loved ones and family and friends can see you from wherever they may be. Faculty in attendance will greet you after you take your picture with Dr. Sams. You will receive an old Westbury swag bag, which has some really cool stuff in there, right? And then what we'll ask is that you come back to your seats for one last old Westbury formality. After which you can take pictures at the picture stations inside and outside with family, friends, faculty, all of us. We'd love to take pictures with you if you want to so do that. So that said, Dr. Sams, may I ask that you take your position in the center of the stage? And may I invite to the podium Acting Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Amanda Friskin, to read the names of our graduates.
Teresa Matutet, Sociology. Shakina Parfait, Sociology. Robert Brown, Sociology. Maria Locasano, Criminology. Hugh Olissa Chukwama, Criminology. Brooke Modica, Criminology, magna cum laude. Tiana Brown, Criminology. Talea Doctor, Criminology. Marissa Castillo. Sydney Tevenot, Criminology. Brittany Baptiste McKnight, Sociology. Tori Walton, Criminology. Leah Alexander, Criminology. Norma Correas, Sociology. Sebastian Romatowski, Sociology. Vincent Trovato, Criminology. Yesenia Puglia Velasquez, Criminology. Chukwemeka Manwe, Sociology. Celeste Richards, Sociology. Daniel Coppinger, Criminology. Yuritsa Caraballo, Criminology. Angelique James, Criminology. Alexa Baldessano, Criminology. Celine Beauvoir, Criminology, cum laude. Sophie Jacques, Criminology. Vanessa Ramirez Hernandez, Criminology. Emanuela Saint-Villas, Criminology. Najeli Smith, Criminology, magna cum laude. Chad Muscati, Criminology. Esther Jiboku, Sociology. Amanda Benitez, Criminology. Armand Idinley, Criminology.
Congratulations, class of 2021. Job well done. I'm going to ask you to please stand if you are able to, and turn toward your professors either on the screen or over here to your left in this corner, and give them a rousing round of applause for all the work that they have put into you. And then I'm going to ask every faculty and staff member in the room to turn toward our graduates and give them an even more enthusiastic round of applause for their hard work and accomplishment. One final thing, take your tassel, move it to the right side, your right side of your mortarboard. On the count of 3, you're going to do what we were unable to do this past Sunday. You're going to move your tassel from your right side to your left side. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, you have graduated 2 times from Old Westbury. Congratulations. Our ceremony has concluded. We are so proud of you. Get out there and own your future. Take care.